point here between Cal State University Long Beach 49ers and the Florida Atlantic University Owls. More prelim action coming at you from the 2015 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. So Long Beach looking like losing a body early here. And no one in the snake for them. One player in the snake for FAU. FAU trying to work their shots out of the snake. Looking at the back line right now for Long Beach.
Long Beach right now up in the middle of the field in that center tower, trying to keep the snake player from coming down the field. That's our boy Dietrich Vogel, number 42, returning for FAU again this year.
Big
Here comes the move down the middle of the field. Bunker out the Long Beach player. Didn't look like he got there, but the ref going to give it to him anyway. As he trades out, that leaves Long Beach one player in the Dorito side can, but he gets shot.
There was Garrod there up the middle for FAU. So these two seasoned collegiate paintball teams, both these teams have made it real far. Both of these teams have won championships before. So this is one of those games that could be finals at another tournament, but right now we're watching third down in the prelims. First point looks like it's going to be going to FAU. They have definitely big superior amount of firepower on the field right now. Just one player left alive for Long Beach, and he gets tapped out. So that's going to do it here in the first point. FAU going to go up 1-0. Nice job by Vogel over here, snake side, Todd.
Yeah, Vogel again coming back for FAU, another year out here at the college championships, doing work in the snake. And Long Beach with that last body, unable to get any kills. Here comes the move through the middle as he trades out. Didn't look like he quite got there. It looked like he got picked off on the inside, but bang, bang play. Good move. Come aggressive through the middle, try and get kills. So
and during the break between the last game and this game, during the lunch break, you know, these two teams are out there walking this field to, you know, try to figure out what's working. This has been a very complex field. The snake, though very long, hasn't been the dominant position that a lot of people thought it would be when they first saw this. And lots of action up that center, action on the D side, but really the story of this field, you know, sometimes fields are all about aggression, you know, getting in the snake and, you know, pushing down that real fast and aggressive. But this field's been a lot about gunfighting ability and then composure when the bodies start to drop.
Yeah, I mean, I went down and walked the field during the lunch break, and yeah, it's exactly how it looks from up here. The lanes are huge. You can definitely shoot every spot on the field on the break. It's just a matter of turning around and getting good shots. This is why you practice that stuff. You know, why you practice shooting on the break, shooting good lanes, and you know, being able to capitalize on them afterwards. But I mean, turning around in the back center, you can shoot both cans. You can shoot both corners. You can shoot the mini race bunker before the snake. You know, we watched UConn decimate Navy trying to run up the middle of the field. So, you know, you really got to go aggressively into your spots. You know, make hard, fast moves. I don't think there's a lot of room to be making, you know, like long, swoopy runs to bunkers. I feel like you got to go sharp into every spot. And because, you know, the shots on the overslide are definitely there in all those spots as well. So
yeah, that's a big problem, particularly in the morning on the snake side of the field, is guys overshooting their bunkers. A ton of guys getting nicked, oversliding their spots. So we'll see if that can be stopped here in these teams here in the afternoon bracket. So off the break, FAU is on the left-hand side of your screen, and now on your screen is Long Beach up to the center. We've seen that time and time again, and that move can definitely play dividends because you can launch from there. You can launch up into that center 50 spot. And it looks like Long Beach loses a player off the break, and then now gets immediately into the snake, though.
So Long Beach now up in the middle in that tower, the back center, the Dorito side can, and in the middle of snake 1 and 2, FAU. They have a player in the mini race bunker on the snake side. They lost one on the break coming out to the snake corner. They're in the Dorito side can, back center. And the first mini Dorito over there in the yellow zone. So 4-on-4 right now. As you see FAU stack, there's Long Beach in the yellow.
Yeah, better field position right now for Long Beach. They have players in the yellow zone. They're in snake 2 and also in that stand-up in the center. So a little bit better field position. And here comes a little move on the D side for FAU, and now into the snake. Looks like
FAU makes a bump out to that Dorito side corner. He gets chopped up.
Yeah, Sean Tabin was able to get a shot on him. And the snake players that have done damage are the snake players that are listening to their coach and figuring out where their opponents are. We've seen a lot of snake players so far in this tournament get to their spot and not really know the shots, but looks like Sean is getting it done in here in that red zone all the way into snake 3.
But FAU continuing to push up the field, coming out of the mini race behind the snake and jumping into snake 1. Give himself a little bit more room to fight from. But FAU, they have a player in the outside Big Dorito as well. So you got 3 players alive for FAU.
And 4 for Long Beach. Yeah, good crossfield spread from both teams. So though down a body, FAU does have a player in the center. They have a player on the D side and in the snake, but playing on their heels a little bit because of the aggression right now and the field position from Long Beach.
Tabin sitting here in the 50 snake, trying to get a shot across the field, but the back center really tucked in and committed to the Dorito side for FAU, protecting his front Dorito player. There you see Long Beach in the back center, up in that center tower, trying to focus on the Dorito player.
Yeah,
I think the move right here is for Tabin to jump across.
Yeah, Tabin's searching for kills right now. He's trying to get shots out of that spot, but Todd, I think you're right. If he gets up another notch, that's really going to open things up for the rest of the players on his team.
He doesn't want to stop in the open in between the 2 snakes, though. He wants to just turn and dive into FAU's side of the field and then get protection from his center guy.
And there's Tabin on your screen right now. You can see by his body language, he wants to go. He wants to make that move, but he's still looking for shots. His coach is right beside him, so that's Jordan Tsai, veteran here. So long point, coming up on 5 minutes left alive, but looks like Long Beach loses a player out of the back line, out of his bunker. So that is going to make it 3-on-3 right now. And here comes the move from FAU to snake 2, shoots cross field. Doesn't look like Long Beach knows he's there. Now the center player switches his gun that way. See their left-hand portion of the screen, he switches his gun that way, but he actually got shot out. And here goes Tabin, launches down, owns the player from FAU. What a beautiful move by Sean Tabin.
That was definitely the move. And then he gets the back center. There's one body left alive over there on the Dorito side. Does Tabin get shot? Tabin is still alive, and here comes the hammer. It's a 2-on-1 situation right now. Can Tabin close the game out and get all 3? He does.
Todd, the best move that we've seen on this snake side so far this tournament just came on the behalf of Sean Tabin for Long Beach here to tie this game up.
Yeah, nice move over there by Tabin to come in and bunker out that FAU player once the opportunity presented itself. No protection for that snake player. Shoots him in the shoots the back center guy in the back, and then forced the hand of the last Dorito player. So here's Tabin jumping out of the 50 snake. Goes and bunkers that FAU player who thought about spinning for a second, changed his mind.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't get a penalty for that.
And then here was that move there at the end, but already dead as Tabin shot him in the back as well.
So that was solid work.
Yeah, good solid
heads up play here on snake side. Yeah.
Drawn out, well executed game for the 49ers. They definitely had the body advantage. Started to lose a couple bodies, you know, getting shot out of their spots, but Tabin making a very excellently timed move.
Which is the best, I feel the best play that we've seen on this snake side. So heads up, knew exactly where everyone was, owned the first guy, almost got that guy to spin and get a penalty. And to be honest, if there was a penalty on that, I wouldn't have been surprised. Definitely tried to bring his gun around, he got decimated. And then Tabin got those crossfield shots, did it perfectly. So nice work. And it's been tough for these snake players on this side. A lot of times you're out there on an island. I mean, you do have your coach right beside you, though, so that is a huge bonus, but only if you're listening to him and only if he's giving you the correct information. So it looks like there's 4 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here in the first half of this match. 10-minute halves here in college paintball. These teams coming back out to play this next point. Looking at Long Beach getting chronoed, making sure their guns are within the regulation. There's FAU getting ready to roll.
Dietrich Vogel sporting the big wig this year. Long Beach is another team who has won this before, won the championship a couple years ago. Trying to make another run at it. Who's going to be the new emerging stars for Long Beach? FAU playing here at their home field. definitely have the hometown advantage a little bit as Long Beach loses one body on the break.
Yeah, so Long Beach down a body, 4 on 5 right now. Advantage to FAU, good cross-field spread. They're in the snake. No one's in the snake. They do have a body over here for the 49ers, but you can see there, that's as far as they're up. Long Beach is up out here on the snake side. And the referee in there checking out the player in the center. He might be clean, it looks like. Oh, but then catches one right after the referee calls him clean. They're just going to open things up for FAU here, snake side.
Long Beach making a move up the Dorito side. But here comes FAU down the middle. Long Beach still with 3 bodies. Outside 40 Dorito, the back center, and the snake mini race bunker, but FAU losing their body up in the middle. But then taking control of the 50 snake. So FAU, 2 bodies over here on the snake side. Vogel and Lochner. 2 bodies over there on the Dorito side.
Vogel just got checked out by the ref, but he's clean. Lochner's still alive and in the red zone here for FAU. And he wants to make a move. There's Lochner on your screen. Into the snake. Wants to move up, hasn't done it yet. And here comes another FAU player making his move on the D side. And here comes Lochner. Makes a big move, but gets blown to bits. And looks like, yeah, but so Lochner made his move. He got blown up, though, by the last player left alive. But it looks like FAU was able to get up there in the center and play off of Lochner's big move. So nice teamwork there by FAU. So that was Richard Ansbrough in the center, getting it done, taking out that last player.
It's FAU going up 1. Long Beach coming back. 3rd point going to FAU. And this is what we expect to see, you know, with 2 teams that have a lot of experience at this level. You know, a little bit longer points, you know, more controlled.
Smarter moves.
Smarter moves.
Less mistakes.
Yeah, smarter gun battles. And then, you know, good closing patience. You know, not running down the field and getting blown up, but making sure you take the guy with you when you go.
Well, and good teamwork on the closeout. Because when you're closing out and there's just a couple bodies left alive, the way you throw that point away is to go 1 at a time. But Lochner made that move, and then Ansbrough made the move in the center off of that move. So that's the type of teamwork you need. One guy goes, when the gun's turned to him, then you need to have the good timing if you're another player left alive on the field, and then you make your move off of that move, and that's exactly what they did. So solid work by FAU to go up by 1, score 2-1 with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in the first half. We're going to be right back. Stick with us. Welcome back here in this close matchup. The Owls taking on the 49ers. Battle of Titans here in Collegiate Paintball. Both these teams have won championships and fighting to get back into that spot here in 2015. It's anyone's game at this point, so who wants it more? You know, when you see, like Todd just before the break, talking about 2 closely matched teams here, experienced squads that have depth, you see less mistakes. You see they've also started to learn this field a little bit more, so not seeing the mistakes that we were seeing this morning.
And FAU unable to get 5 bodies out into the flag station on the start. It looks like one of them may have gotten shot on the break and going to get a major penalty. That's Vogel. No stranger to the penalty box, getting one.
And that takes out their whole snake side, Todd. So this is Long Beach's chance here to get into this game and tie it up. Starting to use their advantage. Press up in that center. Let's see, wants to launch. Oh, Smith. Man. Looks like Smith just walks into one, and they lose another body out of their spot. So 49ers starting to drop the ball, and they lose their snake player. So 3 bodies die at the same time. And the ref running in to check out one of the last 2 players. Still clean. But Todd, looks like FAU just walked out into a lot of paintballs too.
Yeah, the last player over there on the Dorito side for Long Beach was able to shoot that player trying to fill out to the Dorito side corner. But unlucky break there. For FAU. You know, Vogel, I think Vogel's a pretty solid player, you know, when he's not getting penalties. He runs out. Looks like he caught one right on the break. That's Lochner getting in there, running to the snake on the break. He asks for a check. He gets in alive, but then Vogel, you see the red flag drop behind him, and he gets pulled out. So
there was one of the last players left alive for FAU there at the close of that point.
Yeah.
That was a back and forth battle of gunfights there as Vogel gets that penalty, but then we look over to Cal State's side and we see 3 bodies walking off pretty much at the same time, and then we look back over to FAU's side and their 2 bodies were dropping. So close gunfight battle on that last point here to tie it up for Long Beach. Definitely got the gift of that penalty, which is going to stay on the board for the rest of the time here. 1 minute and 27 seconds to go on that penalty. So that will carry on over because it's a major penalty. Minors come off the board if you lose the point. Majors stay on the whole time. So close game here, man. This is anyone's match. And it's cool to see both these teams, these legendary franchises in collegiate paintball, come back out with strong squads and playing some good paintball here. The first that we've seen them on this main field.
Yeah, I mean, both these 2 teams have definitely had some really good games, you know, these past couple years out here on this main field. A lot of tough battles. FAU, they were always the kings of those slow 1-point games. You know, Travis Madrid, who graduated, you know, not here on the squad this year, was always pulling crazy stuff out.
Travis Madrid was awesome.
You know, that guy was fun to watch. And then, you know, I feel like guys like Vogel and Lochner, you know, are the guys that kind of, you know, played alongside him, you know, learned, you know, the game, you know, out here. There's a lot of teams that play out here at, you know, at Central Florida Paintball. And, you know, I've seen those kids around here for a while now. And, you know, a lot of good people to learn from. But, you know, just playing here at this level, getting that experience, you know, they're definitely going to be the ones that got to carry the team now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, big players have big games. You have to be able to, if your stars aren't stepping up, it's going to be a long day. So tied up game at 2, 1 minute and 11 seconds to go here in this first half. We'll be right back after this.
Introducing M-Dry, a new fabric technology integrated with the Contact F5 jersey. M-Dry is engineered mesh fabric designed to breathe more, increase airflow, and decrease moisture. M-Dry panels are designed for spatial distribution of heat and moisture by a hexagon pattern that's woven into the lightweight fabric. The ventilation is a design gradient so the hotter zones breathe more and regulate airflow, making the Contact F5 the most comfortable, lightweight, and breathable paintball jersey available that keeps the player cool while heating up on the field. Available at empirepaintball.com.
Welcome back here. Still 1 minute and 11 seconds in this first half. It's all tied up. And this is a tough one to call, Todd. The Owls playing pretty solid, Long Beach as well. And, you know, I mean, we still got a lot of game left to play. But when you have 2 evenly matched squads like this, it just comes down to who wants it more. It's, you know, obviously both these teams have really solid players, some returning starters.
The FAU player in the back center just got shot in the back on the break. Their referee finally gets a check and gets him pulled out. They also lose their Dorito side corner. So Long Beach using this advantage. Now attacking hard up the Dorito side. So just 2 bodies left alive. FAU needs to try and burn this penalty off. 53 seconds left to go, but in good position to just stand there and let the seconds tick away. What they don't want to do is get shot out of their spots and let this end quick. You want to play as little points down bodies as possible. And here gonna come Dang running down the last snake player.
So Long Beach looking like they want to score this point here, and I think that, yeah, they're definitely going to hang it up here. So just 16 seconds to go. Long Beach going to take a slight lead. Well executed point there for Long Beach. Starting to ramp up their aggression a little bit, Todd.
Yeah. I think somebody coming out to the snake side shot that back center player on the break. Here's Dang on the replay. Just didn't quite get there.
Oh, he wanted to get some, you could tell.
Yeah. There's Dykes getting shot from the inside. But yeah, that first kill was huge out of the back center for Long Beach. And then, you know, also dropping that body off that Dorito side corner. Mike Smith instantly saw it, reacted, and went straight to the A and started wrapping around, putting pressure on the snake side. for FAU.
You know, I was talking to Jordan, the coach for Long Beach, during the lunch break here before the start of this match, and he was talking about how, you know, Long Beach has had some really top-level players come through that school in recent memory that helped them get to championship matchups. But he said that he feels right now that, you know, it's not just a couple guys carrying the team, it's that their whole level of play has risen across the board. They picked up some different guys that have, you know, they're going to school there, and he really feels that they're going to be very competitive here, even though they don't have, you know, names like Chris Tregarthen and the Bornsteins that have been able to carry them in years past, and Jordan himself. You know, so now that he really does feel like they have a well-rounded squad, and we're starting to see that out there right now.
Yeah, and you know, hey, this is college. You know, this ain't the pros. You only got a certain amount of time to get guys in, get them trained up, get them in your program, and you know, come out here. You know, these opportunities are very few and far between for these guys. So, you know, got to bring in guys, you know, that have talent, develop them, you know, work them into your system. I think Long Beach is still lucky to have a guy like Jordan Sy who's been there and done that and seen it, you know, to be able to convey the wisdom to these younger guys and try and help breed them into a team that can, you know, try and put something together over here over the next couple of years and get another championship for their school.
Well, they definitely seem very hungry. They seem very, very hungry. I talked to a couple of the guys on the team, talked to Jordan, and they looked like they wanted some, man. They looked like they wanted to get out here and prove it to the world that, you know, Long Beach is still a contender here in collegiate paintball.
And FAU, you know, they've been so close so many times. You know, I might venture to say that this might even be their year. But here they come with the super aggressive breakout, and that's going to do it. And that's going to be the half as FAU tried to make that quick move. Richard Ansbaugh, who's looking pretty good so far for FAU.
Yeah,
sure
he is.
He's a newer guy.
He is, man. He's been in there pretty much every single point doing something of merit.
Yeah.
You know, he's not dying early. He's in those crucial spots and trying to make things happen. And, you know, he's just pushing aggressive, not, you know, knowing they didn't, oh, he almost got a penalty right there.
Yeah, right. That would have carried over for
but,
sure.
And then caught a bunch. But nice work, though, man. Definitely like what he's bringing to the table. So still, though, Long Beach with a slight lead here. 3-2 is the score. We're going to go throw 10 minutes on that clock, and we're going to be back with second half action here at the 2015 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. Stick with us. Couple minutes before we head to the second half action. But first, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Lauren Kelly, who's down with the coach for the 49ers.
Hey guys, I'm here in the 49ers pit with Jordan Sy. Now you have been doing this for a long time. Talk to me about what it's like losing players and having to pick up new players and going through that process over and over?
Well, I think unlike a lot of teams, we really focus on building our second line. So every year the emphasis is on the second line. We always have a strong first line, but that allows us to train up our new guys, keeping our program strong throughout the year. So I know we've lost a lot of really, really good players, Chris Gerard, I think Corey Bornstein, all those guys. But I think every year we've really focused on building that second string. So it's helping us keep our longevity, stay competitive.
Absolutely. You guys have made it to Sunday almost every tournament since 2010, except last year where you didn't make it to Sunday. What struggles did you have last year that you kind of tried to fix to come here?
I think the number one thing would be penalties. We got multiple, I think we had 4 majors in that one game, and it just, you can't win a game like that. So we're trying to play 5 alive, but what we have been doing in practice is making sure we're playing 4 on 5s, because we know we might get penalties, but we want to win those points anyway. So we focus on low body situations.
All right, absolutely. We got this last point before the break. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Love that you're here at the NCPA Championships and you become the veteran female sideline reporter and doing so much work for us past couple seasons in the PSP webcast. So glad to have her here helping us out, interviewing some players in the pits for these college teams. And it's a great tournament. I love coming out here every year. The level of play gets better every single year, and these guys are really dedicated and been doing this gig for a long time, and it's just been awesome to see the development of college paintball. And a lot of times led by teams like, by Florida and also by Long Beach. These teams, like she was talking about, have been here, done that, still around, still competitive, and looking forward to seeing how well they do in this tournament.
Yeah, that's really cool to see, and it's also nice to see some new faces around here as well. The teams that haven't been here finally being able to either, whether it's get funding or get competitive players or just build their program and able to come out here and, keep continuing to have more and more better teams play at the highest level.
So these teams now switch sides. Long Beach on your left and there, FAU Owls on your right. Doubling up that stand-up can, trying to get some penetration over here, snake side of the field, but still their players stuck in that blue section of the field, in those back bunkers. They do lose a body, so it looks like a 1-body advantage right now. And actually, no, it's evened up, 4 on 4. Now the Owls making moves on that D side of the field. Good field position for them. Now making a move into the snake. Up in a snake too.
Yep. Long Beach sees him go in there, trying to keep him from coming down the field from that Dorito side can. Long Beach making moves on the Dorito side. From the inside Dorito, bumping out to the outside, big Dorito. Long Beach losing a body out of the Dorito side can. That's Mike Smith, he gets shot. And now FAU coming into the back of the 50 snake. There you see the snake side can. Switching back to the inside for Long Beach. Wrapping on the inside.
Yeah, he's looking for it too. Now he's going to make his move. Sees a body drop, almost gets caught by the last player left alive. Scurries over here for, you can see he's trying to wheel and deal and get a shot in on the last player left alive for the 49ers.
FAU loses the body off the Dorito side, but they still have 3 strong over here on the snake as Vogel comes charging through the middle of the field.
And Vogel's got to be careful, man. Vogel getting chewed up, trying to make that run through, but caught a couple. Just come fresh off that penalty, Todd.
Yeah, now a 2-on-1 in favor of FAU. But not good position right there.
No, that's a tough spot to fight when you're down bodies. And he just finally gets chewed up. So still, he fought hard. Got to give him that. Was able to take out Vogel before he had to get shot. You can see his teammate giving him a little pound there. And that was Tabin again. So Tabin's, that kid's a baller, man. I like what Sean Tabin's bringing to the table here for the 49ers. But FAU going to tie this one up. Let's check out the replay here. So you see the launch as Long Beach tries to get into that D side from the center of the field as FAU advances up that side as well off that move. And you can see there, look at all those big bunkers these guys have to work with. And that's why we're starting to see players push up that side. You can see there, he's getting caught on that inside, got shot crossfield. And that's the big thing you got to worry about, man. It's really tough to keep that crossfield communication. So the snake players, as you see, there's Tabin, the snake player for the 49ers. The snake players have a coach right beside him. But the Dorito side players, they don't. So they have to get that crossfield communication going in order for them to figure out exactly where the opposition is on that snake side. Because again, more often than not, when you get shot, you're going to get shot cross field at an angle, unless you either lose a straight up gunfight or you're getting shot cross field from someone you're not sure exactly where it was, and that's exactly what we just saw on that replay on the D side for the 49ers.
Yeah, close matchup here, Matty. Like I said, 3-3. Been going just back and forth. Each team's going point for point. Nobody willing to let loose of their grip on the lead, and you know, got a dogfight out here.
It's a close one. It's tied up 3-3. Now let's check in with Lauren Kelly again.
Hey guys, I'm here with Thomas Ryan. Now, break down the snake side for me a little bit. How's it been playing today, and what are their most clutch spots to get into to make sure you get those kills?
I mean, it's pretty difficult to get out there right now. They're definitely laning that side of the field more heavily. But I would say, you know, getting into the can and being able to help your guy in the front and pushing your guy down the snake a little bit will definitely help you out a lot. Definitely pushing the guy down the field and you just either being in the back. I'm usually a back player, but I've been all over today.
Well, that's fun. All right, well, they have tied it up. We'll see if they can take the lead here.
Thanks, Lauren. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Hey, when somebody, I don't care where you play on the field, if you're a back player and somebody asks you what the crucial spots are in the snake, you better be able to answer that, you know, at the drop of a dime. You have to know where those crucial spots are, because if you're a back player, you're either on that side of the field shooting at those guys, or you're on the other side of the field shooting at those guys. So you need to know where those spots are.
Yeah, another crucial spot to be is to have 5 guys in the flag station when the point starts, which Long Beach was unable to do that last point. And as we saw earlier, you know, can't remember which team it was, but didn't get anybody in the start station to start. Oh, it was Navy. It was the Navy-UConn game.
Yep.
UConn didn't get anybody out in their flag station, and Navy got a free point. That same scenario just occurred over here for FAU.
Yeah, so
not what you want to give up in a really tight game like this.
God, no. Worst case scenario for them right now, man. You don't want to give away a free point in this close game. So 7 minutes, 18 seconds to go. We're going to be right back after this message. Stick with us.
This year, everything has changed. It's time for a new day of National Paintball. An industry-backed, team-supported, and promoter-ran circuit is here. We have successfully come together to celebrate the best in our sport. Show the world outside the netting how intense and amazing paintball is. It's time for you to have a voice. Join us at playnxl.com.
Welcome back here. A little bit of chaos there in that last one. FAU going to go up by 1, 4-3. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks, Maddie. I was standing in FAU's pit right after that last point when the 49ers called a timeout, and they were just saying that that last point only made the 49ers more mad, and they're expecting them to come out really angry, wanting to tie this back up and not give them the lead. So they're going to go out there just making sure that they can get a 2-point lead and try to close this out before the break. Back to you.
Well, that's definitely the mentality you want to have. When something like that happens and you get a gift like that, definitely want to try to extend the lead. Hey, look, these two teams are very evenly matched, so it's about who's going to make less mistakes and who wants it more right now. 7:18 left to go.
Yeah, and the way FAU's been playing, you know, that point's definitely going to hurt Long Beach. You know, they've had to fight for everything that they've gotten here so far. FAU, I mean, same thing, but both these teams very skilled at shooting people on the break. Long Beach can get that point back really quick, but it's always hard to give away a freebie when you're playing somebody that's, you know, a talented team.
Oh yeah, in a close match like this, they won't admit it, but that's a very frustrating turn of events. If you can't get your stuff together and get your team out in the 2-minute time period that you have to work with, it's really frustrating to throw one away like that. So, but again, you gotta let that pass. You have to have a very short-term memory out there when it comes to mistakes, because you cannot carry that mistake into the next point, which is easier said than done a lot of times. So we've got about 13 seconds to go here before the start of this next one. Looking at FAU Owls. Maybe one on the right-hand side of your screen. Long Beach 49ers on the left. Here we go. Looks like a little bit better break on the timing from Long Beach, but looks like, did they get one? Referee in there checking out. Player that's behind the snake, but he's clean. So 5 players left alive for FAU. Also 5 players alive. Oh no, Long Beach loses a body on that D side. Back bunker on the D side. So 4 bodies alive right now for Long Beach.
FAU making a bump onto the Dorito side, but getting picked off. So 2 bodies walking off for FAU. FAU's got a player in the mini race on the snake side, and the snake side can. Looks like Lochner over there. Lochner's alive, but he loses his help.
And here comes Sean Tabin again, who's done very well in the snake for Long Beach. See if he can help his team tie this up. I don't think anyone knows that he's there in the red zone. And a body drops for FAU. They lost another one on that D side, and here comes the aggressive push from the 49ers. All the way on to FAU's side of the field. And that's pretty much it. So clear the field and going to be able to tie this one up at 4 with probably around 6 minutes left. So Todd able to get that one back.
Yep. Good job there by Long Beach's Tabin getting into the snake, being a force.
Well, I like what I'm seeing out of Tabin. Tabin's smart and aggressive. That's a pretty scary combination. You see the referee in there checking out FAU. Gunfighting down that D side of the field. And here was that final kill as the point was closed out by the 49ers. As he was getting antsy in there, realizing that the Sharks were swimming. And it was about to start to get to that painful point when you get decimated by the 3 players left alive. But yeah, solid, consistent teamwork by Long Beach in that point.
5:53. We're all tied up here at 4. This game just keeps getting better and better.
Well, I like what I'm seeing out of these teams, though, Todd. I think they're utilizing this field a little bit better than the games we saw this morning. You know, it's tough when you come out and you haven't played a field layout before. It takes a little bit of time to figure out what's going to work. And, you know, some fields are easier to learn. It's faster to, you know, to master what you need to do in order to prevail on some layouts than it is on others. And this is a tough layout. You know, that snake is a little deceiving. It's tough to play. It's tough to get multiple guys out on that side alive because there's so many different looks in that center. Look how big the snake is. The, you know, those bunker sets closer to you here on the screen, closer to the bottom part of the screen. And you can see, you know, the blue, the yellow, and the red different sections. And it's been really tough for guys to play well consistently in this snake because they're mostly on an island out there. We haven't seen too many times where multiple players have been able to get in there and become a factor. Now, on the flip side, though, that center of the field, you see those big bunkers in the yellow sections, and then those big bunkers on that D side of the field far away. You know, there's been a lot of action over there because there's a lot to work with. So, you know, slowly but surely, these teams figuring out how to play this field.
Yep, and that was Richard Ansbaugh on your screen there with the long blonde hair coming out, getting productive early for FAU. See if he can come back out again, do some damage. Vogel back out there for FAU. He breaks out to the snake side. Long Beach going up the middle to the center tower, but then getting chopped up. So Long Beach hasn't had much success out of that center going into that tall tower.
Well, it's tough. If you get to that spot and the opposing team gets out wide, which is what happened as the Owls were able to get out here snake side, it gets tough. It's a big spot, but it's tough to play if you're trying to, you know, live by your gun on that side.
FAU making a move out of the Dorito side corner. Now up in both big Doritos in the yellow zone. They also have 3 bodies over here on the snake side. The snake side can, snake side temple, and the back of snake 1. So really stacking up heavy guns over here on the snake side. Looks like a Long Beach player is getting checked over there in the Dorito side corner. They're already down one body. It's 5-on-4. And that player's alive, but they lose their inside player out of the Dorito side can.
Looking good for the Owls right now. 5-on-3 on the body count here, and better field position for the Owls, though looks like the 49ers able to get Dang in the snake, and he gets a shot cross field, so nice shot by Dang to get in there, and he's not coming out, so that might be a penalty. That could completely turn the tide here. No, they're just going to let him come off, so Dang gets one. Can he get another one? He might have just got clipped cross field. No, it looks like he took a bounce.
FAU dives into the 50 Dorito. Relaying back to his teammates. Still all three bodies. FAU really needs to come down the snake. They have the bodies to do it. There's only two players over here, and nobody is really stopping that move. Instead, their inside tempo is going to go to the tall tower in the middle. And look to put more pressure on the Dorito side.
Dang gets another one.
So he gets shot. That was Ryan getting shot out of that middle. Really should have just stayed this way and told his snake player to get down the center, get down the field, but he doesn't, and he gets shot out of the back of the snake.
So Dang's having a game right now to keep 49ers in this one, as it's tied up. 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go here in this match.
Long Beach fighting hard right now.
Oh, but Dang gets shot cross field, so dropping the ball. First he clocks in and then drops the ball. Now it's 2-on-2.
Oh, and Long Beach dropping the ball, getting shot out of the Dorito side corner. Just one body left alive, and he comes into the snake. So it's the 50 Dorito for FAU.
And that's a tough spot.
Did they trade out? Is that FAU player still in the 50 Dorito?
No, he moved up. He's in onto the yellow portion of the field, onto the 49er side of the field. It's 2-on-1.
So tough field position for this last 49er.
Yeah,
FAU's on his side of the field.
Well, and he went into the snake too, I think, knowing that he was the last guy left alive. And that's a really, you see Genkin in there. That's a tough spot for Genkin to fight out of when it's just one body. And he's picking up paintballs off the ground. It's not looking good for Genkin right now.
Vogel makes a move out to the snake side corner to shoot down the wire to give himself a little bit of spacing. So and 49ers are going to blow the horn so that they can maintain the time.
I think that was a smart play. I was just thinking that, you know, it's when you're in a low time situation, and even when it's 2-on-1, but when you got your guy in there, he's in the snake, he's picking up balls off the ground, he's, you know, he's out of ammo. He's not really in a spot to try to win that 2-on-1. So it's better to blow that horn, concede the point. That will give the Owls a 1-point lead, but what it gives Long Beach is 2 minutes and 37 seconds to try to score and to tie it up. This is a good game.
Yeah, and we've seen Long Beach, you know, put up a quick point just a minute ago, so we'll see how they attack this. Here's the breakout from Long Beach. Going to that mini race, going to the stand-up can. And there's Dang, who almost brought that game back for Long Beach, but then got shot from that 50 Dorito. Here's the end game closeout for FAU. Attacking Genkin in that snake. I think he ended up getting shot down the line from Vogel.
You know, Todd, this close game here, man, it's just very indicative of how high level these teams are for collegiate paintball. You know, we've seen both the Owls and the 49ers consistently playing. The Owls actually, last year they didn't make it in because they were DQ'd. They had too many guys it was a longer story, but essentially they had too many guys that weren't eligible to playing, so we didn't see them out here. But the year before that, they won the championship. And we've seen the 49ers consistently, you know, as Lauren was breaking down, they've been at this high level for a long period of time. It's a little bit different story for them this year, as Jordan was breaking down and was talking to Lauren about how they lost a couple of their superstars, but they feel that the overall level of play for the 49ers has come up. So we'll see how it bears out. You know, right now they're down by 1 against the Owls, so this is kind of gut check time for them.
Yeah, well, you know, you set the bar high for yourself by winning a championship. You know, once you get to that point, championships are expected.
So doubling.
FAU losing 2 bodies on the break, going out to the Dorito side.
And this is what the 49ers wanted to happen right here. Oh, but they lose a body on that D side.
Michael Smith getting shot in the head, trying to move up.
4-on-3 right now.
Long Beach makes a move. There's Dang again, making a move into the snake. Coming out the backside, shooting across the field. And the FAU loses another body. Oh, I'm sorry. Still with 3 bodies.
Yeah, but Long Beach loses another body. So it's 3-on-3 right now as time is ticking off. Under 2 minutes to go here. Owl's still up a point.
Lochner being alive in that snake. It's always tough to dig people out of the snake, especially with the coach right next to him. Can FAU hold on here? 1 minute and 39 seconds. Here comes Long Beach.
Well, actually, it looks like there are 4 bodies left alive for Long Beach. So they just lost 1. And looks like that other body was wrapped around on the D side, which is why we couldn't see him from here. But yeah, so now moving up into the 50-yard line on that D side of the field into the red zone. That's going to give him some good shots. Cross field into FAU snake player.
Nobody looked at the Dorito side. All 3 FAU players were looking snake side. And the Long Beach player just marched right into that 50 Dorito with help. So 2 bodies over there. 2 bodies here on the snake side. And here comes Dang. He's going to jump into the 50 snake.
Todd, less than a minute to go here. Long Beach has to push forward. Dang steps up again, wins a gunfight here in the snake, but then he gets shot again. Same thing that happened last point. So he's going to shake his head and walk off, but he did get a kill, and here comes the 49ers pushing up on the D side. Gets 1, and I think he got the other one, so nice work by Long Beach. Looking like they're going to tie this one up with 30 seconds to go. Going to try to sprint in here, keep the time on the clock.
Hey, good job, boys. Good job, man.
That was a huge move down the D side. We'll have to see who that was. I think that was McCollum. Douglas McCollum steps up on that D side, comes through. Dang gets 1 kill over here, snake side, and then McCollum comes through and gets 2 and ties it up. Amazing work.
Here's Lochner on the break, going all the way to the snake for FAU.
And that was a good
But
dive
here was
in.
the man right here, Dang.
That was when he got shot. He had shot it. He had got a kill right before that, though. And then there's McCollum, who cleared that out. So we didn't really get to see McCollum there in the replay, but you know, nice work by Dang and McCollum to keep the Long Beach 49ers in this match tied up with just about 30 seconds.
That was Tabin again, switching sides.
Was Tabin on? No. It was
Tabin went and hung the flag. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tabin hung the flag. McCollum came through and had the big move on the D side. Moved up to the 50-yard line on the D side, came through, and then ended up getting both those kills. So let's check in quickly with Lauren Kelly down in the pits.
Hey guys, I am here in FAU's pit. They are pretty heated down here after that last point. They were really hoping to just run out the clock, keep that lead, but they weren't able to do that, and 49ers were able to tie it up. Going into this one, they don't want to try to get 1 point to be up 1 point going into the next half. They just want to live in their bunkers, go into the next half tied, and start over. Back to you guys.
We'll go into overtime essentially. So essentially, you know, we're here into the second half. If this 29 seconds expires, it's 5-5, then they will go on. So essentially, what she's saying is play for that tie.
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad play though, man. 29 seconds. Though we've seen some aggressive moves, but this is not really a fast field.
No, and you don't want to try an aggressive move and lose a bunch of guys and throw a game away, you know, trying to win a point in 29 seconds when, you know, you go to overtime, you get a full 3 minutes, you can run a full game plan, you know, let it play out. But we'll see. You never know. You could shoot a bunch of people on the break. We've seen points won in less than 15 seconds before. So,
well, Long Beach has 3 guns up off the break, and then they have 2 runners head out to each side of the field. On the flip side, just like Lauren was talking about, FAU real conservative. Keep 3 in the pocket in the center, and don't really risk anybody out wide except to the insert bunker snake side, but all 5 live. So yeah, we're going to see an overtime period here for sure.
What you don't want to do is get a penalty.
Yeah, we might see one here. Now he's clean, so the ref was going in there to check out one of the players for the 49ers, and if you get a penalty, that will carry over into the overtime period. But so nobody died for either team, and we are going to reset. 3 minutes on the clock, head into the overtime period. So we're going to see somebody win, or we're going to see a tie game. We're going to find out here shortly. What a close match, though, Todd. This is what we expected to see from these 2 high-powered collegiate paintball squads.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth point for point this whole match. So, of course, we're going to overtime here. And like you said before, we're going to see who really wants it.
Well, and interesting also, Todd, is that how much is Long Beach probably getting a little frustrated with that 1 point that they threw away here. You know, when you're playing a team, you're really evenly matched. It kind of comes down almost always to those little mistakes you make. Those are the ones that you're thinking about on the flight home, like, oh, God, if we had just got those 5 guys out in that one game.
tough.
Yeah, so hey, here heading into the overtime point, we've seen also another good thing that should bode well as this tournament progresses for these two teams, and we'll see if they can make it into the semifinals. But we're seeing players across the board step up. You know, for both FAU and for Long Beach, in the past it had been more of, you know, one or two players really carrying most of the weight. But right now we're seeing full team efforts from both of these squads here. So I think that we see a reinvigorated squad for both these teams. You know, FAU and Long Beach, I think, now that they've, you know, kind of got rid of just having to deal with one or two guys carrying most of the weight, you know, getting a little bit more of a solid cross-field spread as far as talent is concerned. So let's check in with Lauren Kelly. This is FAU Pits.
Hey guys, I am in the FAU pits with Daniel Pando here. Now, I was just talking to you about your first match. You guys won that one 7-1. This is your second prelim match this weekend, and it's tied going into overtime. How are you feeling, and what is the team thinking going into this point?
That we got to win. We got to kill it. We got to win the point. We got to go on. We got to win our next match, and we got to go to finals. On this field layout, what's the best strategy? Do you want to be the aggressor and move down the field before them, or do you want to sit back and see what moves they make and kind of strategize from there? You always got to be quick. You always got to be the first person to get the kills and move down the field. So you got to be quick. All right, sounds like it's going to be an aggressive point. We'll see who can get this win.
Well, we'll see if it's going to happen. I mean, that's a pretty broad strokes, broad brush strokes he just painted right there. We want to play intense and we want to play aggressive.
And both teams losing one body on the break. And it looks like Moy gets shot out of the back center for Long Beach, so Long Beach now down 2 bodies. FAU charging up to the Dorito side, coming out of the corner.
Yeah, Todd.
Oh, it looks like he got picked off right in the head. That's why you go in hard. You never go in soft into your bunker. He gets shot in the head, 3-on-3, and now Long Beach has the field position.
Yeah, Tabin in the snake.
That was the advantage, and then
Tabin in the snake right now, Todd, and he's one of the guys that's been doing damage. So we'll see if he can step up and get a kill. Looks like he just got a shot on that back center bunker. So initially, Todd, it looked like FAU had the advantage, but Tabin and the rest of the crew from Long Beach clocking in right now.
Yeah, whoever got that shot on the Dorito player moving up over there, that was huge, because Tabin came right in, shot 2 players across the field, and it looks like he's going to clean up the last one. So that's like 3 huge points for Tabin that we've seen out here.
Yeah,
give Long Beach the win.
That was massive right now for Long Beach. It did not look good for them initially in this overtime point. They lost 2. They were it was a 5-on-3 situation, but Tabin and the rest of the boys they clocked in, man, and were able to get it done. Tabin's got some talent, man. I really like how this guy's playing the snake. Smart, methodical, knows all his shots. And that's what you have to know your shots, man. In the morning, we saw a lot of snake players get in here and not really know exactly what was going on.
Yeah, he's executing in there for sure. So here was that, came walking into the Dorito, and right at the very end, gets shot in the goggles.
And you can see very frustrated with himself there. And, you know, when you're in overtime, that's the stuff you don't want to do. If you're a coach and you go back and you watch that, it's like, man, you've got to get tight in your bunker. No reason to play sloppy in an overtime point when you get that advantage. But sometimes that's what happens. You think you know where all the variables are, and one guy makes a quick little move, and that changes the whole deal right there. So nice, solid work. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm here with David Gankin of 49ers. Congratulations on that win. That was a serious grinder match. It went into overtime. Going into that last point, what was running through your mind?
Just keep bombing them, hammer them, make sure they can't fill that snake side, and get our guy up that snake side.
Going into an overtime point, I was talking to them about what the best strategy is, and they said to be the aggressor. Do you agree with that, or do you want to see what moves they make first and then decide based off of that?
That's a hard call. I mean, it all depends on the style of the team you're playing. If it's like a team that keeps on doing that, like, you know, running the A, you might expect them to do it. You could probably gut them down pretty easy, but these guys were real hard, and I give them a lot of respect, so it's a great game. Thank you.
What kind of things did you figure out about their strategy going into that last point that you expected them to run so you knew how to defend against it?
We knew they were definitely going to play the pocket a ton, and then on top of that, we knew that one of their guys was going snake off the break, and the other one was kind of a slow play. We knew that if we could control the center of the field, get the Doritos up there, that we could win the game.
Now, this is my first match here because I was traveling to get here. Break down the field a little bit for me. What side of the field do you think is the strongest with this layout?
I think this field's pretty even. You need to have a strong Dorito player and a strong snake player. You could get down that snake side, sure. But if you don't have the Dorito guys seeing that and going down the field too, then you're pretty much screwed.
Is there like 1 or 2 real clutch positions or bunkers on this field that you can get the most kills from?
Well, that's a secret, so.
He won't give me a secret, darn it. Stay tuned, guys. We got more coming up.
So another overtime matchup. The victory goes to the Long Beach 49ers. Well, we got more action coming at you from the 2015 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. So stick with us. We'll be right back.